Angry Old Hoops here. I am re-releasing the video that I tried to release yesterday but ran into copyright issues. I've gone in today and fixed those issues, but I did see some comments come through on the copyrighted one that I wanted to address. So there's a special message waiting at the end of this video from me and Sports and Fitness Rants. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Do any of you remember this video I made a year ago, and I discovered that the NBA was giving LeBron James stats for assists that they did not give Jokic in the exact same criteria? I'm not going to go through the whole video. You guys know me. I bring the video evidence. There's an example that was not credited as an assist, and as you guys know, I don't think it should be, but that one was. And so was this one. This entire play is an atrocity against basketball, full of traveling, moving screens, and not an assist. Although it was awarded as one. As was this one. Pump fake, dribble, dribble, dribble. Here's another one, not even close in my opinion. And if you want recent examples, I just finished breaking down his historic triple-double night in which 4 of his assists need to be erased. Let's go back to Jokic. There's another handoff. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's an assist. However, you just saw all the examples with LeBron James that were awarded as assists. Anyway, last night the Nuggets were on and the Lakers were on. I watched both games, and then I watched Uncut Hoops, and a bunch of other stuff went on. I'm going to react to Uncut Hoops mostly in today's video, but let's get to some other crap that I have to get off my chest.
Our relationship has been, pretty respectful. Besides the shit he said about Bronny at Summer League.
I was wondering if you guys were able to get past that.
But other than that, we've been all right,
Were you guys able to get past that?
We'll be all right. Yeah, we'll be all right. I think he went on social media and said something about it. It's all good, but Bronny got a long way to go, but that's another story. So
his interviews are weird, man. Weird. This is the dude who pretends that things don't bother him and he doesn't pay attention to shit. How long ago did Jaylen Brown say that Bronny wasn't a pro yet? That's what LeBron's talking about here. The only thing that was weird about Jaylen Brown saying that Bronny wasn't a pro yet was that it was a private conversation between him and his girlfriend, and the world found out about it, and he had to apologize for saying something that was his opinion and was very accurate. Notice that LeBron is saying they will be all right. Not that they are yet. He's still holding on to something that wasn't even offense. By the way, did you catch what LeBron said at the end there? Bronny's got a long way to go. Okay, when do you have to apologize for being disrespectful? Because that's the same thing that Jaylen Brown said. He said he's not a pro yet. You just said he's got a long way to go, and every single time that he's on the basketball court, we all can see that he's not a pro. What is wrong with what Jaylen Brown said? Everybody has to apologize to LeBron James and the Clutch Sports Mafia. When does LeBron James have to apologize for making our eyes bleed seeing him and his son on the court? When does LeBron James have to apologize for saying that his son is better than half these cats out here right now? And these freaking drama-seeking douchebag reporters. He said, I'll be all right. And that wasn't enough. The reporter had to be like, oh, I was wondering, how's it going with all that, with that terrible disrespect that was done to you? You already answered, but let's talk about it some more. Anyway, that clip of LeBron gives me an excuse to put this clip up, and he's not the most entertaining person during an interview, but I didn't have to hear him lie through his teeth. I don't have to hear him compliment himself. I don't have to hear him throw his teammates under the bus. Anyway, let's hear what Uncut Hoops has to say about it.
That's a team you get excited about. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Timeout. Linger.
It does. The reality is you can't form.
He actually said motherfucking AR. Oh, man, I think I cussed too much in my reaction to Uncut. Maybe I'll release that separately. Let me throw in what I recorded last night right after the games. Oh, real quick, I saw this posted last night. What's next? 43.25, 43.5, 43.75, and then 44. And no one's going to mention that he's always losing during these milestone games. Shout out to Wimby for not staying in until the very end of the game, unlike LeBron James, in order to get those 4 more assists and get that silly, meaningless triple-double. Let me look at Jokic's box score really quick. Okay, there's a couple of things that immediately set him apart from LeBron James. He had offensive rebounds. LeBron James gets an offensive rebound once every 3 months. Jokic picked up a personal foul, something else that magically doesn't happen to LeBron James. 6 offensive rebounds, good for you, Jokic. 20 rebounds total, 12 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 35 points, 52% shooting, 75% from 3, a 90% free throws, and that got you a -6? Wow, that's interesting. That seems a little harsh. That's a pretty good stat line I just read. He did have 5 turnovers, so now it's starting to sound a little bit more like a LeBron James night. The rest of it was a dream night for LeBron. Anyway, I guess those 5 turnovers are what knocked him down to a -6, or the bad defense. I don't know. I haven't watched this defense yet. Or is it just the fact that the team lost? Anyway, let's look at those rebounds and assists, because those are the most interesting ones to compare to LeBron James. My last video really exposed LeBron James's embarrassingly bad bullshit stats from his historic triple-double night. So if you haven't seen that, go and watch that, please. Right now, we're going to go and look at Jokic's stats. Okay, that is an assist. Notice how Jokic's teammate was running toward the basket and Jokic found him as he was already making a move to the basket. Therefore, he assisted the teammate in making the basket. An assist, not a pass and then go create your own play like LeBron James assists. Okay, there's Jokic handing off to Murray. That's quite a few dribbles and shooting over defenders. Yeah, I don't like that one. Let's scratch this one. 1 less assist for Jokic. See, I'm being fair. This is not Jokic bias. I don't think that should count as an assist. But if it was LeBron James, it would. And this year, it does count for Jokic. Notice, last year, I started this video showing you that last year, that wouldn't count as an assist for Jokic. But let's see how the rest of the game goes. And fast break, Jokic finds Brown. Yeah, he passed it to him as he was going to the hoop. That is an assist. Nice find in the corner. He shoots it from the pass. That is an assist. Yep. In motion to the basket. That is an assist. Direct action. Direct score after the basket. There. Nice pass. Same thing. That's clearly an assist. 1, 2. Back to Jokic. Ah, okay. Yep. That is an assist. He scored as a direct result of the pass. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. All right. And let's take a look at that one again. All right. It's another one of those handoffs. 2. Hop, shoot. Yeah, that's pushing it. It's not as bad as the LeBron ones, but it's pushing it. Okay. Looks like this is going to be a find down the one. 1 dribble and a tough finish. Yeah, going to have to give him that one. Pass, shoot, bucket. That's an assist. And air ball. Look, hands overhead. It's not worth celebrating, but it is a fundamental that matters. He didn't have the ball stolen from him. He made a full court pass, which, by the way, would have been praised like the vision of the century if it had been LeBron or Luka. Anyway, that is another legitimate assist. Back to the first period, so it looks like we went through all of them. So what did we say? -1, maybe -1.5. All right, we'll just say -2, which leaves him at 10. All right, that's still a double digit. What do you guys think, by the way? What do you think about my judging of the assists? Am I being too harsh? Seem fair? Here are the other 3 assists from LeBron's historic night. I mean, I'm being pretty hard on Jokic compared to these. Look at this. The ones of Jokic's that I didn't count were closer to assists than those 2. And here's the one that I said was iffy. Dribble, dribble. Okay, that's the equivalent of one of them that I erased from Jokic. All right, let's check in with Uncut Hoops. We'll compromise. I'll play a little bit of it, and then we'll come back and look at the rebounds. Well, sorry, one more note about that box score. You realize LeBron James took more shots than he had points?
The reality is you can't form.
He actually said motherfucking AR. Except for motherfucking AR. I know I already did a video on this. I incorporated it into looking back at Karl Malone's triple-double. And in the process, I looked up several angles of this. And the whole time I was like, is this real? Or is this AI? Is this like voice dubbing? Are people having fun with this? That's how absurd LeBron James is. It's like, surely you aren't actually behaving this way. Surely you aren't so self-centered that you don't understand that you're making a goddamn ass of yourself on television. But no, it was real.
12 seconds later.
44% from beyond the arc. Jones, that 3 off the rim, and James has got the board.
Oh, it's funny now, huh? You're making jokes, are you? Did you hear that fickle fucking piece of trash LA crowd cheering for his fucking fake stats?
LeBron James, his first triple-double up.
You look at this panel. Man, I thought Shannon Sharp was in trouble. I thought Skip was in trouble. I thought Gilbert was in trouble. I thought Kawhi was in trouble. Does anyone ever actually get in trouble, or do we just read headlines and then it's business as usual?
Double of the season, and the oldest player in NBA history to record a triple-double. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists.
Did you see that goofy-ass panel? What are you guys doing? LeBron fans get mad that we react to absurd LeBron stuff. What did these guys do? These guys assemble to glaze. Why do you think that's respectable? What are these weirdos doing?
12 assists.
It was a nice gesture for JJ to continue to keep him in there, and he definitely was hunting for it, and he was not coming out till he got it.
As a pseudo-rookie before officially becoming a rookie. And there it is, LeBron James does get to double figures with a step-back 3 ball. He's got 10.
Catering to his legacy instead of focusing on this season in the game that was already over. Congrats, I guess, but like I honestly I didn't love it.
I don't like this use of the phrase "I didn't love it." It's such a cop-out, and they don't even get to the point of saying didn't love it until it's just absurdly offensive, and they'll finally utter the words didn't love it. Nobody will go so far as to say that was gross, I hated it, it was bad, shame on LeBron James, shame on the NBA. The best we can get is I didn't love it.
That right there from LeBron James is absolutely shameless. And him being 41 years.
Are you looking at the score, everybody?
old. You think he's above that, but year 23, he's.
My God, did you see that shot?
You think he's above that, but year 23, he still isn't. And look at the latest example, that phony triple-double versus the Mavericks. This once again is LeBron James stat padding and stat hunting to get the coveted triple-double. LeBron in this game had his 10th board at the 2:07 mark, and he stole it from Jackson Hayes. 30 seconds later, checked out because he got his numbers. Mission accomplished.
Okay. I mean, Jackson Hayes has muscle memory. He's a center. He's a basketball player. He's supposed to get that rebound. So when you say he stole it, I mean, Jackson Hayes was just like reacting to the ball coming off the rim and going for it. And then he was like, oh shit, what am I thinking? And pulled his hands back. So LeBron barely had to steal it. Jackson pulled his hands back. But an important point there that Uncut made was that 30 seconds later, he was out of the game. Now, after the game, LeBron James uttered some nonsense that the win was what mattered. And, oh, that's great that the stats came, but the win was what mattered. You LeBron fans that believe those things, I've just got to have somebody sit down and look inside your brain. Everything about this game was stats first, winning secondary.
And when it comes to media, all you heard the next day is LeBron James, age 41, he got a triple-double. What you won't hear, he stat padded that triple-double and hunted it late in the game and embarrassed himself in the process.
Listen, my God, that's an ugly motherfucker. Listen, why is it unacceptable or outrageous for any of us to expect to at least hear somebody in the mainstream media speak the truth? You can say, hey, congratulations, but what happened to the analysts that honestly said, hey, look, he was clearly chasing the stats and it's not the most respectable way to get your triple-double. Nobody will say that except for us independent YouTubers and maybe Craig Carton on one of his aggressive days. But, those are actually somewhat few and far between.
I'm averaging a triple-double in the finals. So I'm pretty good.
Interesting.
Now, when speaking of triple-doubles, right now the king of triple-doubles is, of course, Nikola Jokic. And looking at the Joker, to me personally, he's the anti-LeBron James.
That's an important statement. And look, I'm going to use Uncut as a shield. You guys respect Uncut Hoops. This is how I thought about Jokic, and this is how I thought people who were fans of my channel thought about Jokic. And things have changed drastically about Jokic. And while Jokic certainly isn't perfect, this change is very intriguing. I still think he's the anti-LeBron. It's amazing to hear people say things like he's as bad as LeBron. He flops as much as LeBron. He stat pads like LeBron. His fans are just like LeBron fans. Listen, he might have some weird fan base out there. And I know I've heard sports and fitness rants be upset that Van Gundy and other analysts have ranked him amongst the greatest ever. Listen to me and listen to me clearly. I'm not ranking Jokic anywhere. I don't think today's game even resembles yesterday's game. I don't think anyone in today's game gets to be put into the list of all-time greats because they aren't even playing the same sport. They've actually taken the fun away from making lists. You guys won't hear me participate in those debates because you need to make a new list for the new sport that these guys play that has eliminated the rules that the guys from the past had to play by. It would be interesting. Let me just admit, it would be interesting to see if Jokic's footwork and the other things that he does that allow him to have the success that he's having in today's game. It would be interesting to see how far that would get him against the greats of the past. I'd enjoy seeing it, even if it meant he got humiliated. It would be interesting to find out. And guess what? My money's toward it probably wouldn't work out very well for him. So anyone who thinks that I'm glazing Jokic just because I'm going so far as to say No, he is not like LeBron. Get out of here. Get out of here. I mean, you went pretty far. Comparing somebody to LeBron James is about the ultimate insult. And there's a cavern of details that you just jumped over to get there. Okay, taking a break from Uncut, let's get back to the analysis. These are the rebounds. Yeah, not great. Okay. No, that's not the pass. There it is. Back to Jokic. Gets his own rebound. That's good effort. That looked like defense, by the way. Defense, then he pulls down the rebound. I'm playing this again, not because I'm a Glazer, but I keep hearing the anti-Jokic brigade say that Jokic plays zero defense. Like he's moving his feet. You can actually see him help, unlike with LeBron James. He's still moving. And look, he's the tallest guy. Well, I mean, it's the Warriors, so of course he is. But if he doesn't grab that rebound above his head, you got two Warriors that are ready to get that. And Uncut Hoops in his video shows you LeBron's final rebound, and it's against his own teammate Jackson Hayes. And that's as animated as you see LeBron James going for a rebound in that game. When he has to steal it from his own teammate to pad his stats, that's when he jumps and gets his hands above his head. Not against the other team, against his team. And everybody getting mad right now that I'm defending Jokic. You better calm down, because Jokic doesn't do that. That's disgusting. You don't just leapfrog Jokic into being like the worst person who's ever played sports. You just don't jump someone into that category that fast. Okay, back to the plays. Full court pass, which they would sing the praises of that if it was LeBron and Luka. That's still Jokic playing more defense than I see LeBron playing. And you see how it wasn't the craziest rebound ever, but his arms were fully extended in order to grab it and pull it down from the shorter defender. There's another offensive rebound. Active hands keeping the ball alive. And what's interesting is Quentin Post is taller than him and has position on him. I'm sorry, but that's hustle getting that rebound. Yeah, no, the Warriors didn't even try for that. That's Jokic playing defense again, by the way. And that's definitely a rebound. That's Jokic playing defense again, and a block, and a rebound, and a save. I'm sorry, that's better than LeBron James. That's a rebound. Again, the other team just doesn't seem that interested in the rebounds these days, do they? Offensive rebound. Good rebound. People actually fighting for it. I mean, it's against the Warriors, so they don't have much hope. Well, I guess Quentin Post is actually taller than Jokic, but God, they all look short. Oh, pods. Oh, that's a great offensive putback. Fucking Warriors putting Podzemski on Jokic. Jesus. How many fucking rebounds did he get? Okay, we're finally back to the first. Oh, he had 20 rebounds. No wonder it took so long to get through all that. So go ahead, erase a few if you want to, because it's just generally easier in 2026. I'm not going to deny that. I am not going to deny that, but you do not compare this guy to LeBron James. Back to Uncut.
As looking at the Joker stats, for the most part, they are authentic, and his triple doubles are not manufactured. and phony. And looking at him so far this season, out of 39 games, an absurd 20 triple-doubles. Out of the NBA, the most by far.
He has more than that now. That's how many he made when I made my video about Karl Malone. And last night, I was going through the NBA news, and I looked at the results of some of the games. I, of course, enjoyed seeing that the Lakers got stomped, but that enjoyment was short-lived because, of course, the media did what they did and was celebrating LeBron James. Yet again, we'll get to those details here in a minute. Jokic had a triple-double in a loss to the Warriors of all teams. Weird.
Fall. Second place, Jalen Johnson. Third place, Josh Giddey, who combined don't equal Nikola. That right there, of course, is absolutely absurd, and the Joker is a triple-double king. But here's one thing I do want to examine. The Joker's triple-doubles, how legit are they? And compared to LeBron James, is it similar in any regard? Now, what we're looking for in this video is pretty simple. First off, when did the triple-double come? Was it in the fourth quarter, late, the third quarter, even the first half? That's very important. The second thing, who's in the game with him? Are the starters resting, it's only him out there, or are both team starters playing? It's still a competitive game. That's a key point, point number 2. Third point, also very important, that 10th board, 10th assist, even 10th point, did he steal from a teammate who could have easily gotten it? That right there.
Okay, those were all important. And I, as you guys know, take a different approach. I show the footage. I see if it passes the eye test. I'm like, are you impressed by what you just saw? But, of course, Uncut's criteria are all very valid as well. The timing of the triple-double. LeBron late in blowouts. Not just late in games, which is bad enough, but late in blowouts, whether the Lakers are getting annihilated or if they're annihilating the other team. And, of course, what makes that even worse is that he's usually come off of sitting out and load managing, citing an injury of some sort, which doesn't make any sense at all, to turn around and play nearly the entire next game after you just told the world that you're having an ankle or a knee or a labia issue or whatever the case may be. And then the team doesn't even need you to be on the floor and you stay out there anyway. What other conclusion can you come to other than chasing stats? So, as Uncut will get to later, Jokic, and actually I discovered this in my own video a year ago, that Jokic a lot of times got pulled from games when he could easily have stayed in and gotten another triple-double.
That's very important. The second thing, who's in the game with him?
I got to tell you, I'm so accustomed to people sitting out now that I've started to blur this out. It's like, yeah, you don't have the regular guys on the court with you, but when do we have the regular guys on the court anymore? And God only knows what excuse there is for them not being out there. But in this case, he's being more specific. Everyone, indeed, I remember Luka and other guys were already on the bench. And there's LeBron. There's LeBron out there as if he's in the same situation as Bronny. Oh, let's get LeBron some experience minutes. No, you're not getting him experience minutes. You're trying to fucking inflate stats that are meaningless. And yes, Uncut's right. You can look at who is on the court with him, and it's not just his own teammates. The other team, too, will have pulled their starters, and there's LeBron out there. It's so shameful. It's so shameful. How dare Shannon Sharp and those guys sit there and act like LeBron did something.
Are the starters resting, it's only him out there, or are both team starters playing? It's still a competitive game. That's a key point, point number 2. Third point, also very important, that 10th board...
Yeah, okay. So you guys that were overly anxious to say that LeBron is, or Jokic is as bad as LeBron, when you show me something that looks like a planned agreement to get out of the way so that Jokic can get a triple-double. All right, then we can start to have a conversation. And even then, we can only start to have a conversation because this is what LeBron James has built his legacy on. So if you find one case of it happening with Jokic, even then, you're only beginning the conversation. You haven't leveled out the conversation.
Or 10th assist, even 10th point, did he steal from a teammate who could have easily gotten it? That right there is very, very important. And look at this video, we're going to examine that thoroughly. The first triple-double of the season, Nikola Jokic versus the Golden State Warriors, when it came, was in a close ball game, 120-117.
Okay, I'm not going to steal his entire video by reacting to it. He goes through all 20 games and looks at whether or not Jokic was staying in late in games when he didn't need to be staying in the game. And he also looked at if the score was close and it made sense for him to be in there. And his conclusion was that there was one game, 1 out of 20 of the triple doubles, where it was a little bit iffy. What's something else that I've been accused of by LeBron fans? That's of cherry picking, which of course I never do. I just take the most recent game, and there's always enough examples of LeBron James acting like a buffoon that it seems like I collected an entire year of cherry picking. But nope, just in the most recent game. And again, I was looking at the most recent games. But if you guys want me to look at that Portland game, I will. Jokic's shooting percentage goes up to 66.7%. And once again, unlike LeBron James, it's not right next to the rim. LeBron James's shooting percentage has never been that high unless almost all of his shots have been right next to the rim, uncontested layups, and cherry picking. Wow, a plus minus of 40, 32 points, but he has fewer rebounds, fewer assists, fewer turnovers. I guess it helped, and they won. But overall, his stat line is actually not as good as the stat line in which they lost to the Warriors. But as we know, stats can be deceiving. That's why I break down the footage. You gotta pass the eye test. Now, compared to LeBron James at least, Jokic is passing with flying colors. Maybe I need to watch more. And maybe that's what I'll do after this. I'll watch the entirety of these recent games and try and see what it is that people are so upset about. Or maybe you really are just upset with crazy Jokic fans and absurd analysts. But Jesus, how are you going to blame the player for that? All right, I started breaking down Jokic's shots compared to LeBron's shots, and I'm sure some of you want to do a flopping comparison. All in good time, all in good time. This takes time, so this is not an on-demand service. Speaking of, some of you, strangely enough, thought that you could talk some trash in the comments and try and dictate my comment or who to associate with and not associate with. Anyone I have ever collaborated with in the past should be able to watch the video and listen to my actual words, not insert words the way that you guys did. Anyway, observe it objectively and come away with some points that they learned and some things they disagreed with. I think maybe it was a blessing in disguise that that video I worked on was blocked, partially blocked and demonetized, because I worked on it today. Now I've gotten rid of the demonetized parts, and it gives me a chance to say a little something at the end, because I've got some people bringing some soft, feminine LeBron James fan energy into the comments. And I don't know if they understand that old school people are a little bit different. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robin. Are you and I allowed to have different opinions and still be cool?
Absolutely.
Really? It works like that?
I think that's how it works.
Do I need to start a beef with you because people in the comments said I should? Or should I do what I want to do instead of adhering to these people who are accustomed to the drama of ESPN and this other crap who pay more attention to that than the actual basketball.
Right. Well, exactly. Like you said, the LeBron James fan base and people who think that way, they listen and follow what they're told, right? This is what they are about. When you talk about, I tell people all the time, look at yourself in the mirror if you're a supporter of LeBron James and people like LeBron James. So when they hear guys like Nick Wright and the Shannon Sharps and all these other guys out here speaking, these people with their weird podcasts, these people on the weird channels, when they hear these people speaking, they listen to these things and they do exactly what they're told to do. They do exactly and think exactly the way they're told to think. When people like me and you, we think for ourselves. So yes, we can have our own opinions. We can disagree on stuff. We've disagreed on things before on the live shows several times. So absolutely. But there's no reason why me and you should have a quote unquote beef or some kind of, problem if we don't see eye to eye on a certain topic or something.
Yeah, I was going to say some of these people must be new because we have argued on things in the past.
Yes.
But we're still here. Just because you guys didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
Now, I don't have the same level of energy as you. You address clowns that are out there, and I usually don't. But when they are members of my channel, it's disappointing because I'm embarrassed that you were on my team. And I don't want you. And I looked at whether or not I could refund your membership. I can't do it voluntarily. YouTube has to do it, but go. I don't want your money. Go give it to Gilbert Arenas or someone that you're more comfortable watching beef shit happen. Anyways, anyone else who wants to talk shit while ignoring actual content, because I talk straight facts and go over video footage, and you guys want to put words into my mouth, well, you're on the wrong channel. Those of you who want to keep looking at basketball analysis rather than focusing on drama, stick around. The rest of you, goodbye. Robin, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. I mean, and please, and let me say something else before we go, AOH. Whenever, people try to come in the comment sections, and, I've seen this on my side of things also, people trying to tell me to, not associate myself with you or your channel any longer. And they've tried to use, certain things and try to make situations that aren't there. So like you said, we haven't agreed on certain live shows about certain things. However, I've always told people, man, I'm here. Like you mentioned, you don't really have the energy to do the things that I do as far as, coming at some of these, clowns out here and stuff like that. But this is what I've always told people. It's called setting the record straight. This is part of the reason why my channel's here. So it's never a waste of time for me. And like I said, I enjoy doing a lot of this stuff. Now, also, what I've said before, me and you, and I've told people that follow my channel, people that know your channel, know my channel. I've always said, I'm giving you guys the audio to what the visuals that my man Nazar, the video footage, is putting out there. So I've said recently on my video, me and your channel, our channels go hand in hand. Whether people like it or not, we are here to stay. I said we're like Salt and Pepper, man. We're like Stevie Wonder and my man from
what's this gonna be?
No, Ebony and Ivory, Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder.
Okay,
but that's what we are out there, man. So like you said, AOH, all these things that people try to say and try to make up some, fake beef out here, between me and you. It's never going to go down that way because like you said, we are grown adults. We're old school mentality, man. And like I said, we think for ourselves. At the same time, man, me and you are always going to be chill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a LeBron James fan tactic when you come in and say, hey, you should talk about this, or why don't you talk about this? Probably because it's my fucking channel and I decide what my content is going to be. And like the fact that you are capable of dropping a comment, you think that you're going to dictate what I spend my time on? Not this channel.
That's a great point though, AOH, because I addressed it in recent. I do the LeBron James fans say weird things on my channel, and I address comments that are said to me. And the running theme that I've noticed lately, not only on my channel, obviously on your channel and other people's channels as well, that make similar content that we do, is like you said, people trying to dictate the kind of content that we put out on our channel. So you'll often hear people say things like, oh, another LeBron James video, or this is all you talk about, or you need to talk about this person to make money on YouTube or to pay your bills, things of that nature, right? But the facts remain. People say those kinds of things. These are the comments that you're getting more frequently because they can't dispute what we're actually putting out there. I've always told people, AOH is not editing this video footage. This is what actually LeBron James is doing out here. The video footage that we're putting out there. Again, I'm not lying and making up stories about LeBron James. What I tell you is going on, what we're talking about, is everything you see in the video footage. When we talk about something, when you hear the word nostalgia, you're starting to hear that a lot now also. And they're trying to make it seem like people like me and you, AOH, the things that we remembered growing up, the things that we remembered seeing, the things that we heard, the things that already happened, they didn't happen that way. So again, when you think about us and the things that we're talking about, they try to make us seem as if we are liars. We're lying about what happened, how it went down, when in reality, we have been standing on the values and the principles that people from our generations, we were raised with these things. This is how people still lived in society. You were held to the values of honor, of class, having integrity, and earning respect, not demanding it, not asking for it, but earning the respect. So again, people like me and you are always going to see eye to eye, even when we're not seeing eye to eye, because that's the way that we were brought up.
When people have to resort to pretending that the past didn't happen, that tells you that they don't have much to stand on in the present.
Exactly. Yep.
Sorry, everybody. The past happened. It was real. You don't measure up, and there's nothing you can do about it, apparently. Anyway, I don't want to take any more of your evening. If you want to go live later, you can invite me on, but I just wanted to have you hop on while I address these people.
And yeah, no, absolutely, Waste, man. I appreciate you having me on here again, man, as always. I was actually thinking about going live tomorrow afternoon after I get off work. I don't know what your schedule is like or anything. That would probably be around maybe 4:30 Eastern time. I was thinking about going live for a little bit. I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days, so I haven't really been able to do that many lives that I wanted to.
All right. Well, you let me know.
Yeah, I hit you up, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you later.
Later.